Welcome to Spinechecker's Transmissions with Dr. Jeremy Brook. High vibing, vitalistic wisdom to help you align, connect, and energize. Let's go. Welcome back, my fellow seekers of health and vitality. Today, we're pulling back the curtain on something that might just surprise you, your wardrobe. Now, I'm not talking about fashion trends or what's in style this season. I'm talking about the actual fabrics you're wearing right now, like the ones that touch your skin, that you live, work, and sleep in. Ever wonder if the clothes you wear every day could be impacting your energy, your health, and even your overall well-being? Well, I've been thinking a lot about this lately, and what I've discovered might just change the way you look at your clothes forever. Today, we're talking about the fabrics we choose to wrap ourselves in every single day, especially as health conscious individuals. Because if you're like me, you've probably spent a lot of time thinking about it, like how you move your body and what you put in your body, and maybe not so much about what you put on your body. You potentially have like a home water filtration system. Hopefully, you're not drinking the tap water. More than likely, you shop, for clean produce and meats at the farmer's market, and maybe once in a while you buy a $20 mushroom latte with organ meat from Air One Market, But for now, let's just focus on the clothes and toxic burdens. Because here's the deal. I've been in chiropractic practice for 24 years. For the first half of my career, I was all about those cotton button down dress shirts from Banana Republic. They were classic, professional, and honestly, they just felt aligned for the job. But then something shifted. My cousin, Dr. Mike Isix, comes in one day wearing these stretchy polyester and spandex performance dress shirt, made from futuristic materials. And let me tell you, it was a game changer. And as far as pants went, Lululemon's ABC pants were my go-to, and I had them in every single color. And for years, I was all in. It's all I wore while adjusting because it made me feel like a superhero. Seriously, I felt agile, like I could literally do a yoga class in my work attire. And mind you, even while wearing a tie. I chose the fabrics and materials for function, not even thinking about its health benefits or even its frequency. To do my job like a professional athlete, I needed to move like an athlete, and those stretchy synthetic fabrics let me do that as advertised. But then something, shifted, something happened, and my skin started to crawl when I wore those synthetics. I noticed that when I took my clothes off at lunch to get a backyard workout, in the sun, I felt like I could finally breathe. And then when I'd slip on my uniform to head back to my center, it was like my body was trying to tell me something. I mean, your body, your innate intelligence is always trying to tell you something. It's always sending you signals and messages. You just have to, tune and tap in. So I started digging, really digging into what these fabrics were potentially doing to me, and more importantly, what they were doing to my energy, my vibration, and frequency. And what I found was eye-opening. These synthetic clothes were contributing to my toxic load, like the overall burden of chemicals and toxins my body was exposed to daily. And as a chiropractor, I understand that stress comes in many forms: physical, chemical, mental, and emotional. And our bodies are designed to adapt, but there's a limit. When that limit is released, it results in tension, distortions, and blockages in the body's natural flow of energy. In chiropractic terminology, in our lexicon, we call these subluxations. They're the roadblocks that prevent the body from functioning at its best. So when you're wrapped in these fabrics loaded with toxins, you're not just putting on clothes, you're adding stress to your system. And over time, that stress can manifest in ways that disrupt your health and well-being. And we're seeing rising rates of cancers, bodies in the red zone with inflammation, metabolic dysfunction, and hormone disruptions all around us. And the more that I looked into it, our clothes, if they're not organic, they're going to be loaded with chemicals. They're sprayed with pesticides, and our clothes can contain other things like formaldehyde, which is used to make them wrinkle resistant, but can cause respiratory issues and is linked with cancer. Then there are the phthalates, which are used to make the plastics flexible, but can mess with our hormones and even reproduction. Then there are those perfluorochemicals, or the PFCs, which are used in water and stain resistant clothing, but are horrifically linked to cancer and immune system damage. And new studies show that these chemicals are in the highest concentration right in the crotch area. They're good for stretching. They're not good for reproductive hygiene, not good if you're dealing with some type of dermatological inflammation. They're not good if you're alive. And think about it. These are the clothes we're wearing right next to our skin every single day. And several synthetic fabrics are about as friendly to your health as a pet skunk. Take polyester, for example, made from petroleum-based chemicals. It's like wrapping yourself in a cozy oil slick. Then there's nylon, another petroleum-based fiber, because, one oil-derived fabric just isn't enough. Then there's acrylic, another potential carcinogen. So it's not just itchy. It might just be plotting against you. There's rayon and viscose, which are treated with so many harsh chemicals that they should come with a hazmat suit. And let's not forget about spandex, made from that polyurethane, because who doesn't want to wear stretchy plastic that's toxic as it is tight? So these fabrics might make your clothes look good, but they're definitely not doing your health any favors. Now, this entire insight download revelation came to me while meditating with my V-Light, which is this unique brain device that goes right on your head, which is targeting light into the brain through the skull and up through the nose through pulse near infrared light at frequencies 10 hertz alpha for the relaxation and sleep improvement or optimization. And then you've got the 40 hertz gamma for focus, memory, brain, energy. We're going to have a whole podcast about that alone. But I imagine my clothes hanging in the closet, the toxic chemicals bleeding into the air, just breathing toxic air, challenging my system, even when I wasn't even wearing them. So the visual was me being in a car with, my dad smoking cigarettes way back in the day with the windows rolled up, and it's all good. He doesn't smoke cigarettes anymore. But it was about breathing these chemicals coming from clothes in my closet while I slept night after night, unknowingly subjecting my body to more stress. And as a father of 2 boys and hopefully more babies in the future, this hit home for me. I started to question the impact of this toxic burden on not just me, but on my family, and how these exposures might also affect our family's health long term. And that's when I came across some cool and interesting and fascinating stuff from some other awakened individuals in the conscious clothing universe, some people from my yoga class or other people in the fashion universe. All right. Now, did you know that fabrics actually have their own frequencies? Yeah, I didn't. And I didn't until I stumbled upon a study from Dr. Heidi Yellen. And she used this device machine to measure the signature frequency of different fabrics. And turns out linen and wool both coming at a whopping 5,000 angstroms, organic cotton 100, non-organic cotton, that's at 70. But here's the kicker. You got the polyester, the silk, and the rayon, just 15 angstroms. And a diseased or nearly dead person had a frequency of about 15. And here's something cool for those who want to take it to like the next level. According to Dr. Yellen, you can't combine wool with linen. According to Yellen's research, the human body has a signature frequency of 100. And the study showed that if the number is lower than 100, it puts a strain on the body. However, if the fabric has a higher frequency, it gives energy to the body. And this is where linen comes in as a super fabric. Its frequency is 5,000. Wool also 5,000. But when the wool and linen are mixed together, they cancel each other out. It falls to zero. In this study, even wearing a wool sweater on top of like a linen outfit collapsed the energy field. Now, this idea goes way back, all the way to the Bible, like the Old Testament and the books of Leviticus and Deuteronomy, where it specifically says not to wear a garment of wool and linen mixed together. Like when you mix these two high frequency fabrics, it can create that dissonance or energy imbalance. And that could be explained by like that mystical idea that the energy field of wool is going to flow from the left to the right, while that of linen is going to flow in the opposite direction from right to left, which is the possible reason behind the Jewish concept of shatnez. Jewish law forbids shatnez, wearing garments of mixed wool and linen. So if you want to go deeper into that, you got to check out Leviticus 19:19 and Deuteronomy 22:11 for the lowdown. But basically, the wool and linen may not be spun, sewn, tied, knotted, or knitted together for garment use. Like even one linen thread found in a garment of wool renders the entire garment shatnez. Now, only sheep's wool is considered wool, and therefore the prohibition doesn't apply to other animal fibers like camel hair, cashmere, or alpaca. And the term linen refers only to fibers from the flax plant and not from like cotton, hemp, and other plant-based fibers. So a combination of other materials such as linen and cotton or wool and silk does not create shatnez. Now, I also learned that the prohibition against shatnez does not also apply to wearing separate garments made of wool and linen. For example, a wool jacket may be worn over a linen shirt, or maybe, you've got wool underwear wearing some linen pants, and that's totally cool as long as the two garments are not sewn or twisted together. It's very interesting. So Jewish law says that you can't mix them together, but it can be worn. But in Dr. Yellen's study, even wearing a wool sweater or wool underwear underneath a linen pair of pants collapsed the electrical field. So it's important to note that while this 2003 study from Dr. Yellen, which is often cited in discussions about fabric frequencies and health, the original study paper does not appear to be readily available or published in a peer-reviewed scientific journal. The information about this study usually comes from secondary sources reporting on it, kind of like you're getting it now from me. So if you're all about maximizing your energy and staying aligned with those higher frequencies, it's something to keep in mind. Now back to my wardrobe, because I started making like changes immediately. I cleared out my closet. I got rid of most of the synthetic stuff and replaced it with natural fibers, linen, organic cotton, and even some hemp. Now, I still kept a lot of my Los Angeles Lakers gear. I'm having some separation anxiety getting rid of it, but I'll take the electromagnetic hit when I wear those. But let me tell you, like the difference was night and day with wearing the new organic threads, the linen, the cotton, and the wool. Not only did my skin feel better, but I felt more aligned with my values, more connected to the work I do, the energy I bring to my practice, and the environment I want to create. And as I was exploring this, I also started looking into the brands that make these clean clothes because let's face it, not all brands are created equal when it comes to sustainability and ethical practices. I found that brands like Industry of All Nations are really leading the charge. They use natural biodegradable materials and they're all about fair trade and transparency. I also discovered another company that's super popular in Europe. They have a store in the United States right on Abbot Kinney in Venice. It's called Colorful Standard. I think they're another solid option. They use 100% organic cotton and environmentally friendly dyes, and they make their clothes in Portugal under fair labor conditions. I actually bought a couple shirts from them, which is a problem because they have like 26 different colors in the style that I like. Don't worry, I'm going to show some serious restraint. And for the record, I'm not an affiliate or an ambassador or an investor in these companies. However, if they're looking for one, I'd be honored to align with them. And what I'm actually wearing right now is like this incredible shirt, the Pondy shirt from Industry of All Nations. It feels absolutely amazing. You can't see it, but I'm also wearing some denim, organic cotton, and then the other materials are reclaimed denim. So I'm dialed in, and what you can't see right now, underwear from a company called Nads. My wife actually hooked me up with some super underwear for my birthday, so I'm super stoked on that. So my challenge to you is this: like, take a look at your wardrobe. Like, what are you wearing every single day? Do your clothes align with your values, your energy, and your commitment to health? And if not, maybe it's time for a change. So tap into your own personal frequency signature. I can tell you from personal experience, it's worth it. Your body, your mind, and your spirit will thank you. So thanks for tuning in today. If you found this episode, this transmission helpful, don't forget to subscribe and to share it with somebody who needs to upgrade their wardrobe to optimize their health. And remember, alignment isn't just about your spine. It's about like every aspect of your life, including what you wear. So stay aligned, stay vibrant, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Peace.